and they make you crave sugar, let me tell you. They want things quick and they want it now, and they proliferate really, really fast. So they actually can signal, these bacteria can actually signal our brain. And we, as the organism, will actually crave something that our microbiome wants, right? Because it just wants to survive. The bad bacteria, it just wants to survive. And it knows that if it has a certain kind of food, that it can survive. So once our bad bacteria has really established dysbiosis, it's created now just a bad neighborhood, there's greater potential for funguses like Candida, for example, parasites, viruses, all kinds of, there's millions and billions of different types of bacteria that can live in our environment. And it's just going to go on from there. And then our body will start entering a sick and diseased or dis-ease, a state of dis-ease or discomfort. And it takes time. It does take time to combat with that, which is the reason why you don't just do the whole 30 for 30 days, for example, and go, ta-da, I'm done. How come I still bad? It takes a while. And on a side note here, not only do we need to be properly consuming nutrient-dense food, not only do we need to be absorbing them and making them available for use, but we also need to get rid of material. Our bodies need to detox. We're living in a highly toxic environment, more toxic than humans have lived in since the beginning of humans. And but our immune system, it also means that we're using our immune system. It is a use it or lose it kind of thing. So if you get a cold once or twice a year, that's actually a good sign that your immune system is actually working. I'm always really kind of suspect when somebody says, I never get sick. I never, ever get sick. I haven't got even a cold in 5 years. You would think that that's good information, but actually what I hear is, wow, your immune system isn't working very well, because I know that they have been exposed to different things, right? So I need to move on here, and I'm going to look at my notes to make sure that I'm on track here. So let's talk a little bit more about nutrient deficiency. So if you haven't guessed, basically nutrient deficiency is the root cause for a malfunctioning body. What does a malfunctioning body do? Well, I tell you what, it's usually resistant to weight loss. It's fatigued. We have hormone problems, chronic pain. I see a lot of lower back issues, recurrent colds and flus and sicknesses, meaning here I go, another case of, sinus, chronic sinus infection, or hoarse voice, or constipation, or diarrhea, or going back and forth, restless leg syndrome, metabolic syndromes like diabetes, autoimmune disorders and dysfunctions like Hashimoto's thyroiditis, right? Food sensitivities, and the list goes on and on. And the scariest one really for a lot of us is cancer. Oh my gosh. Cancer is when things are wrong. And when we don't have our ducks in a row, we are susceptible to cancer. And I really think when you look at the state of health right now, it's no wonder that cancer is around every quarter. I see everyday pre-diabetes, heart disease, thyroid dysfunction, autoimmune dysfunction, and obesity wherever I go and in all the clients that I meet. And there's always this fear, who's next? Who's next? So we can eat amazing, but we need to be able to absorb it. We need to be able to use those nutrients, and that is going to provide us the protection that we need. We are in charge of our defense system. We are in charge of our immune system, and this is where you can make some really great changes. And some of those toxic elements of our environment that I was talking about earlier that we really need to avoid would be the processed foods, which includes refined sugars and grains and the GMO products and trans fats like canola oil and margarine, right? And hydrogenated oils like the deep fryers that even your sweet potato fries are in, the empty or useless calories, thanks to programs like Weight Watchers, which is just about creating more stress in the body because you're reducing your calories, but then your body's stressed because it's even more starving than it was before. Stress is hard on your immune system. Lack of sleep, lack of sunlight, or going outdoors into the fresh air, poor movement. That includes overtraining, is stress on the body, as is undertraining, of course, stress on the body. Improper absorption of foods that we've been talking about, overuse of diuretics like coffees and teas and sodas, and just depending on the stimulants to get you going. Overconsumption of alcohol to slow you down, at the end of the day. Loss of faith or spirituality, just feeling alone or isolated, not having a positive, supportive community. And also a lot of the personal products that we use every day, from our shampoos to our cleaners and our scented candles and all of these modern things. So, what do? It's what we talked about in the very beginning, the foundations: hydration, nutrition, digestion, fatty acid balance, vitamin and mineral balance, blood sugar regulation. If you don't know where to start with these, call me for a free consultation, right? We'll talk a little bit on the phone. If I feel like you're somebody that we can work with, then we can do it live in person here at my practice, or we can do it on video if you're far away, or if your schedule just can't you can't sneak in a little bit of me time. This is what I do, not only for myself, but also my clients. This plan includes healing and restoration and protection from disease and sickness. And I make it sound like it's simple, like here are these 6 things, and let's just go for it. But it's actually not that simple. And that's why you're listening to this podcast, is you're trying to glean some information. But I tell you what, I'm an educated and experienced nutritional therapy practitioner, and I do have ways to assess deficiencies in my client. And diet can't do it alone. I wish that was the case. I wish I could just give you a food list and say, if you just eat these things, then it's going to be better. But it is a lifestyle, and it's so freeing to actually find that lifestyle, to find what works for you, to have a flexible metabolism. We took our grandsons to Monterey Bay Aquarium, and as we were leaving, my daughter-in-law had never been there either, and as we were leaving, we did something completely frivolous. We went to Ghirardelli, and we got hot fudge sundaes. Definitely not on the list of awesome foods to eat, but it was so amazing. And you know what? Nothing happened. I didn't get sick. I didn't get a headache. I didn't eat the whole thing. I tell you that thing was huge, but I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it with freedom. But that's because I have a flexible metabolism that also properly detoxifies out all that crap that I ate. That sundae with the refined sugar and the dairy, and there's hormones in that dairy, and oh my gosh, I can't even tell you the food coloring and preservatives and all of that. My body just said, yeah, she enjoyed it a little bit, and now we're taking care of that. That's gone. We're going to burn this up, and then we're going to toss this out. So I'm not just a coach that's selling you shakes and meal plans. I live this stuff out, and I find ways to help my clients live it out too, through the accountability. And also, I don't treat disease and I don't treat symptoms, but what I do is I use the foundations to address these burdens, these symptoms on the body, and I help your body do what it is designed to do. I am an educator, I am a detective, and I'm a guide, because I have been down this road, and I will show you myself how it is done. And this is another reason why I am doing the podcast, because I am passionate about this. My sons listen to the podcast, and my 2 older sons who are grown and have their own families. And one of my sons said to me, well, who are you talking to? Are you talking to Dad? No, I'm not. I'm talking to you. I'm wandering around my house in my regular everyday life, and you are on my mind. You are on my mind. I don't know who you are by your name or your face or where you're living, but I know who you are as a person. If you're listening to this, I know who you are, and chances are I know where you've been. And what I don't want to see you do is I don't want to see you just jump on another treadmill program like Weight Watchers, or another 30-day this or that, which as soon as you get off, you're going to go right back. You might have lost some weight, but you never restored your health. And that just adds frustration. and it adds depression, and it does stuff to our emotions, especially as women, to where we just feel defeated. And I don't want you to feel defeated, my friend. I want you to feel empowered, and I want you to reach out to me for help, because this is what I do. This is what I live. This is what I do. And I have newsletters, and I have Facebook, and I have, of course, clients that I work with, and I have Instagram. But I want you to make the decision to make the changes. And it feels a little bit overwhelming at first, but when you're working with somebody like myself that can just line this out, and I have a different view of your life than you do. I have experience at this. I have years and years of experience of this, not only as a coach and an educator, but also because my body hit a wall too. And I didn't see it coming. I was so busy helping other people that I didn't see it coming, and I was ignoring my signs that were right in my face. And somebody like a personality like mine, it hit me like a freight train. That's when I woke up. And that's when I became a guide and not just a coach, because guides have been there. They've been down the path. So I have been down the path. And that's actually why I've renamed my business The Path, because we all are on different paths, and we all basically want the same thing. We want longevity, and we want to thrive, and we want to feel good, and we want to be around people that make us feel good. And we don't want to stress, and we don't want to struggle, and we certainly don't want to deal with these symptoms and burdens. We want to connect the dots instead of just having a list of 50 things that just aren't right, or maybe feeling defeated that this is just the way it is for you. We want to connect the dots and get a picture of our life, and then we want to draw a new picture, because I tell you what, there's more for you out there. It is so fun to feel free. It is so fun to be able to chase my grandsons through an aquarium. It's so fun just to do it, just to have the freedom to do it, and have the freedom to have a Sunday if I want to have a Sunday. So have a blessed day. Go online to brandylloyd.com if you would like to sign up for a newsletter and a free consultation. And I hope to meet you live in person, or at some point even through technology someday. And please share my podcast. Like I said, I'm an evangelist, so share it. It's free. Send it to your mom, your girlfriends, your brother, or whoever. And I'm not fancy, but I do speak the truth, and I'm passionate about what I do, and I help people actually heal and restore and get long-lasting results. So enjoy the day.